All right, so this week we're taking a look at probably the most used, largest reach vehicle that public relations can use, the internet and social media especially, but the internet in general. The internet has been a transforming change from a communication standpoint, as big or maybe even bigger than the Gutenberg printing press, which goes way back. We have progressions in communication through history, and we have small leaps. Like radio was a small leap, television was a small leap. The Gutenberg printing press was huge because it allowed the written word, which was before that, only the very, very wealthy could afford books because it took so long to write one and to transfer from one book to another and copy and all that stuff. The Gutenberg printing press made it possible for the masses to communicate with each other relatively quickly compared to what it was before. And it was a giant leap in communication. The next big historic leap in communication that allowed the masses to communicate much easier is the internet, which means it's a huge tool that can be used for PR, but also marketing and all kinds of industries use the internet. It's one that we need to look at, and it's one that in a lot of the assignments that you've talked about coming up to this point in the semester, you've utilized or you suggested utilizing the internet in your plan and using like social media in your plan. So we're going to look at why it's so important, and at least at a beginning look at what we need to do to utilize it better. And there'll probably be multiple videos. I'm not going to go as deep into this one because I'm trying to keep it under, a 10-15 minute time frame. So the internet is almost literally everywhere. As of 2016, which now that's 8 years ago, the internet had a 3 billion human reach. Now there's only 9 billion people on the earth, so a third of the world was on the internet. When you consider all of the world, there's a lot of places that don't have the kind of accessibility that like we do in the United States and in Europe and in Asia have, but it's still a huge ability. You could literally type something up, put it on, say, social media, and go viral and easily hit 2 million people in 30 minutes time. I mean, it's amazing how powerful from a communication tool standpoint the internet actually is. It is the fastest way to reach an audience. You can almost instantaneously, and we see this with the news, you can instantaneously report on events. You can talk about news stories and sports stories and all of that kind of stuff. People have posted stuff, and in 10 minutes time, they were super famous because of, whatever it was they posted. So you have a gigantic audience. You also need to remember then you've got a lot of cultural views, and even with English speaking people, you've got, a whole lot of this world speaks some form of English or in some degree of English. We can communicate quite a bit. It's an absolute must tool for public relations for a number of reasons. I mean, if you think about it, it's one of the tools companies can use to reach all of their publics. It's also provides a way to monitor the communication that goes back and forth between publics about a company. So there are companies who hire people whose whole job is to say monitor social media sites. Maybe they monitor X, formerly Twitter, and they keep track for anything that talks about their particular brand. And their goal is to, and sort of like when crisis management, we don't want something to fester up into a huge thing. So we see, say, a customer posts something and it's bad about a particular product in our brand or something, and then we immediately engage with that particular customer or person and try to resolve the issue before it escalates. So the internet has a lot of reasons to be respected, utilized, and developed.
For decades, the experts have been proclaiming the dawn of a new revolution, a world where customers are no longer at the mercy of corporations, where they don't have to suffer through bad service or broken products, long waits or endless phone trees, and where they have no real voice or no recourse. Until now, it's been a hollow proclamation. Welcome to the world of the ever-connected, always-on, highly opinionated, on-the-move customer. This is a customer who understands they now have power, and they know how to use it. They have expectations, and they have choices if those expectations aren't met. And boy, do they have choices. They also have a voice, and it is loud and far-reaching. To earn their loyalty goes way beyond a loyalty program. You need to earn their trust, because make no mistake, this is a trust revolution. You need to recognize them as more than just numbers or accounts, but as unique human beings with a distinct set of needs. They now expect more than just a product or a service from you. They expect a relationship that is on equal terms. They give, you get, you give, they get. They expect to be at the center of your world, and you, my friends, need to put them there. You need to become a customer company. A customer company is available 24/7, and any place your customers happen to be. A customer company listens first to every customer on every channel. A customer company connects their customers, employees, partners, and products. Customer companies know the conversation never stops. They're grateful for your business and show it. They create communities and respect your identity, privacy, and money. Most importantly, a customer company knows you're the same person no matter how you contact them. They don't just create satisfied customers. They create evangelists. And when you become a customer company, you'll transform everything.
So as you can see, it like leveled the playing field. That's why it's such a huge leap in communications. Everybody pretty much can reach everybody in theory. And you can spread the word very quickly. You can, as we say, go viral very quickly. So it is a tool that is definitely something you have to pay attention to. Companies initially, some of them tried to ignore the internet or say, oh, it won't really take off, or we're not going to really worry about it. Those that got on board it quickly and learned to utilize the vast opportunities that it presents are the ones that got ahead and were much more successful than some of the ones. Some of them fell completely away and just ceased to exist anymore because they didn't handle the internet change, and it's revolutionized whole industries. The World Wide Web, it's unlimited for the most part, other than places that don't currently have some kind of connectivity, and eventually everyone is going to. It's instantly updatable information. It's virtually live. I can post something right now. I could post a video live of me doing this, and people, if they really wanted to watch it, could watch it almost live. And that's an amazing tool that changed the news in a huge way, because it used to be the news reporters saw what happened and they came back and they wrote up a story and it went into the newspapers or it made it onto the evening news. You didn't have this where somebody just holds up their phone and videotapes something happening live and everybody in the world can see it instantly. And you have that ability now with the internet. It gives you incredible interactivity with all of your publics. Remember, you've got many publics out there, and you can instantly communicate with all of your publics using the internet. But what also comes into play is your publics can communicate with each other. And so you need to be a part of that communication. You need to, at the very minimum, understand what's going on in that kind of communication. You may not want to intercede in it, but you at least want to be aware of what's being talked about and what's being said and what it's doing to the brand, and what are people missing and what are people getting and that kind of thing. It's also really inexpensive. You only really got to pay for your internet connectivity, and our my house internet connectivity is $25 or something like that a month. And for that money, I can reach anywhere in the world. I can reach libraries around the world. I can reach universities. I went to school online because of the internet. You're going to school taking this class because of the internet. The pandemic came. Did it slow us down? No, we converted everything to the internet and went virtual on the internet. It didn't really cost us almost anything to do that when you think about it. It was a very cheap tool, especially when you look at how many people you get in your reach, because you theoretically can reach every single person on the internet if you really want to, and you can do that 24/7. There's no sleeping with the internet, which means that from a PR standpoint, you really can't sleep either, because you may be a worldwide international brand and it's evening where you are, but in other parts of the world, it's morning. And if they're using your brand, you instantly could have something happen and you need to be aware of that stuff. So now PR is a 24-hour job. And so PR has to have their fingers on the pulse of the internet in order to really do well, fulfilling their job of maintaining the organization's brand. Some PR groups use webcasts, they use podcasts, live streaming. That's really good actually, because the public, the customer, a lot of times feels like, because it's live, it's more of an interaction, and customers want that interaction. They don't want the faceless company in the background doing stuff. They want to know they're interacting with the company, and those are some tools that do that. Also, it gives you a chance to write blogs, but it also gives other people a chance to write blogs. So you need to be aware of when somebody's writing something in their blog about your brand, and go in and see what they're saying and is it true, and do you need to communicate with that entity. And there's a lot of stuff going on there. Wikis, the same thing, files of information that are out there. Are they right? Are they being updated? Are they correct? You got to look at all of that kind of stuff. There's a lot to this tool that we have that allows us to talk to everybody.
Hi there folks, Paul Vars, signing back in for another YouTube update. Hello and welcome. This month we're talking about content and content management. Following up from last month where we specialised with things to do with search engine optimization. Now, when a client comes to me and says, okay Paul, we've finished all of our on-page SEO, what do we do now? What's this content thing? And really that's all they need to be focused on from there on in, is their content management, getting it up onto the website, getting it out through social media, getting it out from there into all the different platforms to attract business and the customer back. So I say to them, well, do you remember all the way back at the beginning we did the keyword research? And yes, they remember that. And I say that's where we find now the foundation for your content management. So let me just give you a quick snapshot of how content should be structured on your website, and that internal linking system, and where we get our ideas for the content from. First things first, we go back to that keyword research. And we look at this whole list, which can be 20, 30, 50, 80, 100 keywords or more. These are keyword phrases, of course, that people are actually searching for, related to your business, related to your product or service. And within this, we found the best opportunities through competitive analysis and narrowed down the hundreds to this short list of 50, 80 or so. Going through that, what I then suggest, and we've done this with our on-page optimization, is we look for topical content. keyword phrases, search phrases, things that people are looking for which are related but individually different. Let's say we've got about half a dozen different search things which are on a particular topic. Now the things themselves are different, but the topic is just one. So they create and have created a good, solid, strong content conversion page. And this is a page which, of course, has all the content. It answers the questions. It informs the customer. It shows your expertise. It shows authority that you know what you're talking about and build trust with the customer. This is the content page talking about a number of different search things all on one topic. Now, you duplicate that 3, 4, 5, half a dozen times or as many as required to talk about the different areas, the different product categories or services within your business. Then, what you do to generate more content is you take the individual search phrase ideas, the concept behind them, and create blog posts. So imagine we've got our content pages over here and then our blog posts over here. This page talks about, for example, about half a dozen. We've got 5 different topics. But the blog post will talk about just 1, maybe 2, and of course link over to here for more information. Here's the conversion. The blog post is what helps generate fresh new traffic on an ongoing basis, gets shared through social media, can be replicated through video and so on and so on. It generates that traffic, sends them to the conversion. And then we have another couple of topics over here, and that becomes another blog post, and another topic over here, and that becomes another blog post. And they're all linking to and supporting this primary content conversion page. And that's the way to structure content on your website. Keeping in mind, of course, here's the disclaimer. There are generally 2 different types of customers. Those who already know what they want and are just going to go straight there, look at prices, look at options, and go, bang, I'm going to buy. They've made that buying decision already on the product, service, or type. They don't necessarily know who they're going to purchase from, perhaps, because they haven't decided that. You just want to send them straight to your product page. You just want to send them straight to your services page. They know what they want. But then there's the other type of customer, the 80% in some industries, and they know what they want. They're not just quite sure yet about the options, about how it works. Maybe I should take this, maybe I should take that. They're the ones that we're looking for to grow our business. People who are not yet already buying from us, even from our product or service. That's how we increase and how we generate growth. And these content conversion pages, based on what people are looking for information. And that's most of what the web is, folks. It's information. People looking for answers to things. And it's always been the rule in selling. If you can answer your prospects' questions, if you can meet their needs, you will be successful in business. And a good, solid content conversion pays topical, based on many different topics, with blog posts supporting it. You get that from your keyword research. Not just going into the meta title, not just the description, not just your headings, not just your page URLs, but solid content. And that's the number one place where you should be looking for content ideas. And then it gets through blog posts, as I mentioned, through videos. You can do podcasting, you can create documents, you can create SlideShare, all of these different things, all out here, all over the web. They come back and support these topical content pages. So that's my idea for you for this week. I'd like you to look at your website, look at your products and services, and look at the topics that you could be talking about. And don't just talk about them in your blog. Create solid content pages. Support them through internal linking with your blog posts. Support them through external linking, through your social media, through your videos, audios, and so on. That's the content strategy. Next week, we'll talk about where we can find more ideas and thought starters to generate even more content. Have a great week, and I'll talk to you soon.
Now, obviously, that's pretty intense, but the purpose of it was really to show you how vast it is. There's so much out there that public relations needs to pay attention to because it's all brand management. And all of that, as he said, it's about information and people seeking information. And sometimes that information is seeking what is the brand and what is the products and that kind of thing. But sometimes it's also how trustworthy are these people? Or, when I'm buying stuff on the internet, or even when I'm looking at websites, I'll look the website up and I'll say reviews of the website or reviews of the product, and I'll read what do other people write. This is stuff public relations needs to pay attention to because people are free on the internet to say what they want. There's no truth police, and somebody might have a bad encounter so that everything they write is about this one bad encounter, and we make decisions off of what other people write, and that bad encounter might really come back and haunt us. Think of everybody's probably bought stuff off of Amazon, right? And if you go to any product in Amazon, you go down to the bottom of the page, there's all the reviews about the product, and sometimes it's about Amazon and delivery and all that stuff. People use that to decide whether they're going to buy, or they decide, what they're going to do. From a PR standpoint, somebody's got to go down there and pay attention to that stuff. And if they notice, hey, people are having a problem with this particular thing and it's starting to tarnish our reputation, we need to take a look at this. And this is exactly some of the things that happened where companies ignored it. Back in crisis management, we talk about BP did a horrible job paying attention to what people were talking about when they did the big oil spill. General Motors has consistently had failures on recalls that they've ended up having to do that they could have made really easier, smoother transitions on if they had paid attention to the chatter on the internet going on early. And instead they ignored it, or they didn't even know it was there because they weren't paying attention. There's a lot that we need to do with the internet. And so that's why we take a look at it. It's our biggest channel for doing our job. And that I'm going to close here because I don't want to go too long, but I will put up some more videos as we go through this week. Hope you're having a good week. And if you got any questions, shoot me an email and I'll get back to you. Thanks.